Welcome, Cancer. This is Regina doing a new moon in Pisces reading for you, active on the 18th, undoubtedly the day that you may be receiving this. And the key themes of this new moon in Pisces are receptivity, to be open to receive. And we'll review some of the reasons why that is so during this period of tremendous endings and closures. I've used a couple of oracle cards to get us started. I've used the Mayan Tarot, and I will clarify with the Raven Tarot and finish up with the Crystal Oracle. And for you, I've chosen the Potential card, which is, as the energy archaeology describes, aligned with a part of the skeleton, a bone in your body. When in alliance, the keywords are medicine, healing, and creation. And the wisdom reads, you are both creator and creation. You were chosen and birthed in this incarnation, and you are connected to the gifts of creation, sound, light, and vibration. The word is with you, and the word is you. Owning your power as a creator may feel like a heavy responsibility because speech and sound have created brokenness in the world. You may have created brokenness. You may also feel perceived brokenness within you. Do not let yourself be defined by what feels broken, because you are also a healer. When you speak of these broken things, parts, and pieces, but not from them, you receive the beauty and healing of your voice. You overflow the divine inspiration and beauty of your creation into all that is, meeting with the healing medicine of every single person in the great flow of the universe. You can create a potential future much brighter, more equitable, and more just than the world in which you found your voice. This is very much in key with the power of the spring equinox, which is arriving in a couple of days, Mercury going direct on that precise day, and the tremendous amount of closure that is preparing us for new beginnings. So this potential card is coupled with Let Go from the Talismanic Oracle, and this is precisely a way in which you can surrender. You can release the sense of brokenness, whether it is initiated by you or it is perceived as having happened to you. Part of letting go is accepting the responsibility for having chosen something that you, at some level, participated in. If it's a failure, if it's a disappointment, if it's a broken heart, if it's some kind of suffering or pain that you have continued to cycle into your life over and over again. And at this particular time, I do believe it is particularly challenging for those of us that are attempting to grow, improve, become more aware, that we have difficulty in releasing what has damaged us, what hurt us, that these pathways, emotional pathways, really cling despite our conscious efforts to release them. So I believe this time the act of being truly receptive is a way of managing that. So for the sun energy, I have the Ten of Swords, and this again echoes the idea of the tremendous amount of effort, analysis, in some cases overthinking, that you have done about what has harmed you, what has hurt you, perhaps seeing, even being cognizant of your ongoing relationship with people who you know do not serve your best interests, that you know do not truly support you in the way that you need to be supported. And so this is echoing this idea that you have closed those doors, but there's residual anxiety around the relationships and situations, the habits and patterns within you that have to stop, that have to go. And that is creating a tremendous need for rest, because this is hard work, this is emotional work, and this is really being honest about the recycling of past events that are really causing your brain to overthink, to break, to be exhausted physically in your body. And for the sun energy, we have the Four of Jades. And this is a much more positive idea around recognizing what value in the things that you have experienced, what the lessons are that you've learned, recognizing that these become your new foundation, but how cautious you are as a result of removing yourself from a damaging cycle, a damaging frame of mind, a damaging expectation of what the world is going to recognize and give back to you. So that is clear, and that is clearly already setting the foundation for new action you'll be taking. But you accept and recognize that the lessons learned are a new foundation, and you're moving very cautiously because you don't have all the replacement pathways firmly in your body, in your uh, routines and habits. You're aware that you automatically do things the way you always have, and those have not been as productive as you'd like them to be. In the present, we have the Six of Staffs. And it's interesting that with all of this heavy emotional work that is going on for you, what is working for you is Jupiter is in your sign. It has gone direct about a week ago. And this is really about the the expansion of your emotional intelligence, the way in which you are allowing your body to hold the wisdom of lessons learned, and you're allowing your body, your feelings to inform you as you move forward, as you expand into and grow into a greater understanding of the way the world works. And this is beautiful energy that has been recently direct, but since November of last year has been retrograding. So you've had an opportunity to go over uh, ways in which you feel that you have not been served by relationships, situations, and primarily your own ability to move towards what supports you, what serves you best. And your tremendous desire to understand that better and take responsibility for that is now giving you this forward momentum. It's as though it's clearing the pathway, and it is giving you this bountiful faith in your own ability to move towards what is not only better for you and improvement in your life, but a vision that humanity can be improved, can work together, that we have each other. In the past, a couple cards came out. Wow. The High Priestess and the Devil. I think this is such an interesting combination for you. So there's a part of you that accepted some of the status quo as you understood it. As you understood, it served you. But there's a part of you that always recognized that there was some deeper wisdom, some deeper experience you had beyond the experience of your current life, current uh, advantages, talents. For some of you, there's been real privilege And that I mean in a relative sense. I certainly own that as a citizen of one of the most prosperous nations in the world, no matter what my individual class status is, by virtue of being here. I understand that. And I think that's something that you are peeking through that veil. You are already incredibly sensitized to the experiences of others, others that are like you, others that are not like you. You care what others need. This is something that has always been a prompt for your incredibly nurturing nature, your desire to look through the superficial trappings of the world and understand human need on a very elemental basis. It's part of the way that you tap into and can tap into this universal collective unconscious. So that this is really, it feels like a kind of uh, coming to moment, coming to understanding moment in your past where you saw that the way you had been served by your world is not the way that the world has been served by you. And by you, I mean our social order. And in the future, we have the Eight of Cups. Courage indeed. So you cherish and value all of the strength, purpose, power, support that you have received from some of the connections in your life. You realize perhaps that the privileges or the advantages of your life have gained you ultimately the courage to move in a direction of uh, greater significance. There's something you want to do. There's something you now feel poised to do that will help others. It feels like it involves travel. It certainly involves understanding of a diversity of cultures, learning styles, abilities, but you have something to give. You certainly recognize you have a lot to learn from others that are not from you. And I see you working towards something. It could be a project, it can be a lesson or a course, it can be a philanthropic effort. It can be a way that you create that helps your neighbors. Whatever it is, you recognize that this is why you're here. This is what you're capable of doing. And you're moving away from what is familiar, what is safe, towards something that is allowing you this opportunity to truly understand the experience of others who are not so comfortably afforded as you. If this reading is resonating for you, Cancer, please like this video. I appreciate all of your energy, your presence that's with me. I feel so loved and supported. And that is immensely important to me. I'm going to clarify the past, the High Priestess and the Devil card. With the Moon, the Six of Staffs, with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups with one card, please. The King of Swords. Interesting. This is coming up for a lot of people in the immediate foreseeable future. So, of course, most of you are aware this is a general reading. It is not going to resonate for every Cancer or every member that I'm speaking to. But it is consistent that the past is usually the immediate past. It's hard to quantify time, and the future is usually the immediate future. Tarot is not generally does not do well at predicting events. It definitely does its job by connecting with your inner consciousness and awareness. so that these answers are answers that you have shown me. So I wanted to clarify that. So the clarification of the moon to the high priestess and the devil card. Of course, the moon is all over most depictions of the high priestess. She often is featured with her feet on the crescent moon. Although many people associate this with another water sign, there's no doubt in my mind this is one of your cards as well. This is really about that collective unconscious I spoke to earlier, your ability to not only be sensitized to the needs of others, but your willingness to get comfortable with those attitudes, behaviors, words, experiences that you've had that you may not be proud of, you may feel a sense of shame around, but that you are aware the fear that they evoke are something you must work at. And that in some ways summarizes the overall tone of this not only new moon in Pisces, but this entire sort of astrological time we're in. Having done this so-called shadow work, facing those things that bring anxiety to you, understanding them better. This is about learning why these things make you feel a certain way, why you get triggered, and a deeper sense of compassion for yourself, allowing yourself to be guided by ancestors, your dreams, your meditations, your prayers, knowing that that opens up a conduit just as you have access to your own subconscious. You have access to what some call the superconscious, divine guidance. So I do believe that this is really emphasizing this tremendous power that you have to be in alignment, to be connected with human needs. And that's in part the motivation for the work that you're doing now. Not only the work you're doing for yourself, but the work you're doing for others. So here there's beautiful balance. You're fine. You have found your place in the family, in some collective or community, some team, that you understand clearly your responsibilities as an individual while still belonging to a collective, a community, a team. And because of that clarity, and of course, your ability to organize, sort, and accomplish your tasks so well, you are lifting up the whole family, the whole team, the whole collaboration. With the Nine of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, the emphasis here is the truth of your individuality. This really describes the way that you manage this pursuit of your personal truth and how you are weaving this into addressing the needs of a community or a collective. So there is a balance that is occurring at this time between our ownership and belonging to a larger humanity and our right to be a unique individual within that. That they are not mutually exclusive in much the way that we have been trained to believe that they are. Right? All you have to do is be yourself, be your own person, gain attention for that, stand on your own 2 feet, be an original creator, and everything will fall behind that. Well, we know that isn't true for everyone, and we know behind any individual creation of any sort, it takes a village. So there isn't that clean separation that we often celebrate in our culture. However, in leaning away from the expectations of others and moving through your own truth, your own purpose, this is what's leading you to the sense of justice that you feel you can impact in the world. This is about empowering the change you can make, not only the change in your life that gives you the right to know what's best for you, but this is about understanding that change is more nuanced, is more navigated, negotiated than we've been taught to believe. And in the future, the Eight of Cups is clarified by the King of Swords. Wow, and we all need this King of Swords right now. This is openness to new ideas. This is the ability to speak truth, but from a place of curiosity. This is less about issuing edicts, giving orders, than it is about asking the right questions. You have experienced how your expectations of the way things were turned out to not be quite the way it was. Your own assumptions have been toppled, have been challenged by you and by your current experiences that put a lie to some of the things you thought were set in stone. This is the King of Swords energy that recognizes leading with curiosity rather than demands, even expectations, opens up so much more in our ability to find the truth of others, to measure our truth with theirs, to see the relevance of our experience to the experience of others, to open up to alternatives, that there is no way that things always are. And there's much in the media that wants to corral us into believing that abuse, that war, that victimhood, that trauma is just the way things are. And that is not true. We have choices. We can always choose. And that is part of what you're leaning into in your life. How do we tease out those opportunities? How do we tease out the best way to go or to handle a situation that looks one way, but quite likely may be an opportunity to move in a fresh direction? I'm going to finish this reading, Cancer, with a crystal oracle, and out flies the tiger's eye. It's not a very good picture of the tiger's eye, but the key word is courage. Yes, yes. I am courageous, and this energy supports me throughout my life. I love this. This is exactly what I feel you are moving into. You're leaning into from this time of flooded misinformation and an overwhelm of information that has many of us paralyzed. You are recognizing that there is no has to be about what we're told exists in the world. Thank you so much, Cancer. Until next time, namaste.